Hey gang, it's Marie here from goalietrainingpro.com at the NSCA headquarters in Colorado Springs for the Hockey Strength and Conditioning Clinic. And this guy is Coach Matt Shaw. He's the head strength and conditioning coach for University of Denver, NCAA champion University of Denver Pioneers. So he gave a couple presentations last year, just amazing, and just using the body, using all the joints. It's amazing. So a lot of the stuff you see me post was influenced by the stuff I learned from Matt. But Matt, so you have all sorts of different shapes and bodies and things like that. And we were just chatting quickly about impingement, and so that's something that sort of makes every goalie's blood run a little cold, because you guys get scared because you think, oh, this is it, I have impingement, I'm going to need surgery now. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing, because I think, you find the precedent of impingement, especially within hockey, FAI and CAM, and how prevalent it really is with hockey players today. And I'd say it's the same thing with soccer or, a lot of golfers, but it's something that I think we kind of have created a solution behind, and getting guys just out of the positions that are going to drive, I think, stress into that exact location where they may feel that bony pinch. So when we work with our athletes, it's really about, I think, just avoiding those situations. And it might be something as simple as, tweaking their hip into slightly, different relative external rotation to avoid, that internal pinch on the groin, or just altering stances from like an RFE position to a normal, just split stance. But I think it's just these small, minute changes where we just teach them about relative motion, and about just making a very detailed change in where they're placing their pelvic positioning within an exercise, or changing, maybe an exercise selection altogether, to avoid situations where we're actually driving stress into that area. We've seen a large return. We've been able to manage guys. I think that whether they come in with pretty severe orthopedic issues, or they are symptomatic or they're not symptomatic, and we just identify them as something that may be at a higher risk for injury, or soft tissue issues down the road. I think for us, it's about managing the individual, selecting exercises that make sense, based on their range of motion, where they may have impingement, and then creating, I think, a loading scheme that still allow us to kind of avoid those situations, but get them, really strong throughout, the other ranges of motion, or just shy where they may feel symptomatic. So using things like isometric strength for us is getting them just shy where they may feel, that pinch, and still running load into that area, has been a really strong way for us to kind of still maintain their strength and stability around it. And the nice thing about that is that you still get that plus 10, minus 10 degrees of range of motion, that transferability. So we don't have any of our guys deep squat for that reason. Not only are you more apt, I think, to drive stress into an impingement point, but also into paraspinals, and just the relative, I think, positioning between the pelvis and the lumbar spine. So we treat guys like individuals. We look at how much actual functional hip flexion that they have shy of where they start to compensate, and then that's the end point of their squatting, and where they generally do strength work.
Yeah, and then you probably in your training too, you do a great job of sort of correcting that anterior and pelvic tilt that so many hockey players have, and they think it's like, I got a huge butt because I'm a skater. It's like, no, you got a huge butt because you're like, what's that girl's name, Kim Kardashian? It's like, no, that's not muscle, honey. Like, that's
exactly.
And then shoot, I had another. Just like, because some of these guys are probably coming to you, and their trainer maybe at home, is just like, you got to get deep, you got to get at least thighs parallel on your squat, and they struggle with it, rather than saying well, where do you feel that? And if they're like, oh, I feel it here, it's like, aha.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's about a level of communication. The one thing that we've always stressed with our athletes is, I think, understanding the whys, and getting them into the positions, and reinforcing, like, well, what are you actually feeling there? Do you feel pinching? Are you feeling the loading of the current in your quad instead of into your glute? So it's really about, I think, having an open level of communication, and always going back to what the athlete is experiencing, not what necessarily we're just seeing with our eyes, but making sure that they are actually experiencing what we're trying to get out of the stress, and that we're shutting down in certain areas where we don't want to drive stress, and engaging others that that's about getting the effectiveness out of the exercise, and and everything that we're programming is make sure the stress is driven appropriately, and it's maximizing the results of whatever exercise or adaptation that we're after.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another little gold mine from that. Thank you so much, Matt. I was thrilled for you when your
Absolutely.
team
Thank you.
won that. Good luck in the upcoming season.
Thank you, Matt.
Cheers, everybody.